It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. Yeah.
Hotep, and the Amen Osiris, the one and only undisputed God of law. We are Deception Stoppers, America's only 4D education service. Thank God I'm not a lawyer. Thank God this is not a law firm. We don't advocate that you don't support your human offspring. We simply advocate that you made them in private, take care of them in private. Now, I've created this video for you, ladies and gentlemen, to let you know that after extensive research, you can now in fact sue 4D contractors. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is, again, don't take my word for it. The video that preceded me here, there's codes and statutes and definitions in there. Go look those up and confirm and that's true. Okay. I don't care who gives you what. Do not take anybody's word for it. Look it up, confirm it is true. The first thing you need to realize is under 42 U.S.C. 659, consent by the United States to income withholding, garnishment, and similar proceedings. All right, there's a remedy. Similar proceedings for enforcement of Title 4D and alimony obligations. Okay, so anything similar, excuse me, to enforcement of child support obligations, they consented to. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to narrow this down a little bit. Okay, so basically, you should be fully aware by now that the Federal Office of Child Support Enforcement is the federal agency that supervises the National 4D program. This federal agency is within the United States Department of Human Services. Okay, so the United States Department of Human Services is an agency of the United States, of course, which is a corporation. The Federal Office of Child Support is an instrumentality of that corporation. And the 4D agency that operates in the state is the instrumentality of the federal OCSS, Federal Office of Child Support Enforcement. The 4D agency is not a state agency, okay? Anybody who participates under Title 4D, let me pull it down here for you, right? Let's see, where's it at? All right, shall be subject in like manner, all right, to withholding or remember any similar proceedings, all right, as if they were a private person who does not have sovereign or other special immunity or privileges, which causes that person not to be subject to legal process. You know what that means? All right. So the second thing that you can look at is, let's see here, Federal Manual Child Support. Okay. Page 47. It clearly states, however, every federal agency is responsible for responding to the 4D program that operates in the state as if the federal agency were a private business. Why would they say that? Number one, it's not a state 4D agency. It's the 4D agency that operates in the state. Okay. It does not answer to the state. It answers to the federal government. And all you have to do also is if you find one of their contracts, this is Ohio's. I use this a lot, folks, because I swear to God, Ohio, I mean, they're the stupidest people. They just put it out. Okay. And you better collect this information before they figure out what I'm doing, which I'm quite sure they have already, and scrub it. All right. Under 45 CFR 302.34, all right, the 4D agency has to go into contracts with courts, clerks of court, sheriffs, district attorneys, prosecuting attorneys, attorneys general, and so forth, corrections officials. All right, anytime the courts, I will use the courts for right now, we can use the sheriff, whoever. All right, anytime these courts, these people go into a contract, number one, that turns them into a contractor, okay? So take away that judge bullshit. Now, under Title 4D, the independent capacity of the contractor, it goes back to 659, which I showed you. All right, they act as a private person. Look, it says the contractor and its agents and employees. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. There we go. All right, so under independent capacity of the contractor, all right, the contractor, which is the judge, the sheriff, the cop, anybody who participates in the 4D program and gets paid from it, is a contractor, and its agents, employees, and subcontractors will act in performance of this 4D contract in an independent capacity, here it is, and not as officers or employees or agents of the state. Okay? If they're not officers, employees, or agents of the state, again, I said in the video I did yesterday, where did this court order come from? All right. So they are, because judges have judicial immunity under 1983. It says you can sue anybody for deprivation of your rights, except for a judge who's acting in judicial capacity. Under Title 4D, that contracted judge is operating as a contractor in an independent capacity and not as a judge. And more importantly, he's not an officer, employee, or agent of the state. Okay? And therefore, on that note alone, you can sue them for deprivation of rights under color of law. They cannot get 11th Amendment immunity. They cannot claim, oh, I was acting in my judicial capacity. No, you were not, because judges swear an oath to the Constitution to uphold and defend and support the Constitution. Show me what judge said I will uphold and support and defend Title 4D of the Social Security Act, which was never enacted into positive law. I'm the Ahmed Osiris, folks. I'm giving these classes Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We will provide you with a weapon that initiates your lawsuit. We will provide you with the lawsuit, and we will provide you with a, once you sue them and once they're properly served, all right, they're going to motion to dismiss your claims. We will also provide you with an opposition to their motion. That motion that they're going to file is, look, they're going to try to use Roker-Feldman. All right, number one, Roker-Feldman says you can't go to a federal court and ask for an appeal off of a state court judgment. Well, number one, all right, check this out. If the person that made that judgment was a contractor, not an officer, agent, or employee of the state, then that kills Roker-Feldman. Because the 4D agency, it says it is referred to as a private business, that kills Roker-Feldman. And under 659, all right, I-4, they're conducting themselves as private persons with no immunity. That kills Roker-Feldman. All right, they're also going to come back and say failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted. Gentlemen, you have rights. All right, under 1983, all you have to prove is two things. Number one, all right, a person subject you to conduct that was under color of law. Title 4D was never enacted into positive law, which makes it color of law. And that conduct deprives you of rights, privileges, and immunities secured by the Constitution, guaranteed by the Constitution and federal law. Okay? Because the 4D agency is a business for profit, right? That goes into the your First Amendment right to not assemble or associate. All right? No business for profit can compel you to associate with it. So all we have to do is prove, number one, First Amendment right. And look, you got what? There's about 6 of them. They violated your First Amendment right, okay? Your Fourth Amendment right, your Fifth Amendment right, Seventh Amendment right, 13th Amendment right, and 14th Amendment right. We'll get into that at another time. All right, gentlemen, we are offering this class Monday through Saturday. If you want a class, all right, you can register at my email, which is flashing across the screen. All right, and you tell us your situation. I don't need much. All you have to do is tell me you got a 4D situations. 2 things are going to separate it. Number one, is this a 4D case, which is called child support, which doesn't exist? Or is this a Title 4A case, which means that baby mama went on welfare, they loaned her money, and they're coming after the non-custodial pay rent, which is prejudicially presumed to be you, all right, for that money, okay? I'm not doing consultations anymore. We're providing classes. We provide you with the weapon. So we'll provide you with your first weapon, which is a cease and desist. We'll provide you with your lawsuit. We'll provide you with your cover sheet. We'll also provide you with that cease and desist. We're going to give you a color of law form, which is very effective after you get them notarized. All right. Then we're going to give you instructions and show you how to file your lawsuit in federal court. Now, remember, you can sue the 4D crime boss, okay? Because the 4D crime boss is a private person. All right. Now, I advocate that you sue everybody that you can, but remember this, every person, it's that word person, that you sue, all right, what's going to happen is they're going to seek out legal counsel because that's the Sixth Amendment. They have the right to counsel. All right, and what that counsel is going to do is going to motion to dismiss your claims. Okay, the more people if you sue 5, 6 people, that means you got 5, 6 motions to dismiss your claims from 5 different lawyers. All right, that can get costly. So if you want to go that route, by all means, we got you. All right, but worst case scenario, if you want to sue one of these talking monkeys called the 4D contractor, all right, I say stick it to him. All right, if you can afford to do so. All right, gentlemen, it's all fake. It's not real. You have rights. Now is the time to exercise them. Okay, you can schedule this class, like I said, Monday through Friday. We'll provide you with everything you need: the federal manual, the glossary of common child support terms. All right, we're going to give you rights without remedies. We're going to give you the SLR, all the evidence that you need. And if possible, we will provide you with the contract from that state. But because under 45 CFR 302.34 says that contract is on record, you can make a FOIA request just by chance we don't have it, because some of them we can't find. I won't lie. All right, but you can do a FOIA request, and worst case scenario, even if they don't give it to you, you can subpoena it from the federal court. Oh, you got to go with that contract. Once you got that contract, this one that I'm showing you right here, gentlemen, this is the Ohio 4D contract. Okay, every state has to go into a contract. All right, Ohio's contract is so straightforward. I'm telling you, man, it's like porn. I'll put it to you like that. That's how exotic it is to me when I read this garbage, and it tells you everything. But here's the deal. This contract is not limited to Ohio. Take out the word Ohio, gentlemen, right? And just put in whatever state it is. They all have to go into a contract. Every county, every court, every prosecutor, every lawyer, every cop, every sheriff. Once they go onto that contract, all right, then they fall into the independent capacity of the contractor, and they are no longer officers or employees or agents of the state. Which means if a sheriff tries to arrest you under Title 4D, he's not an officer, employer, agent of the state. So you can do to him or her what you will. Okay? Now, I'm just letting you know what the law says. Don't get it twisted. All right, if they're coming for you, yes, more than likely, if you're not a good talker and you don't have proper defenses, you're going to get handcuffed and go to jail. However, go ahead and make the purge, and as soon as you get out, you sue the tar off of them. And I'm talking about, man, listen, you sue these people, you get at these people so bad with the weapons that we can provide you with, we will provide you with, they'll have to lick their own asshole for like 2 months just to get the taste of you out of their mouth. I'm the Ahmed Osiris, folks. Schedule your class today. All right, you shoot me an email asking me any questions, I'm just going to refer you to a video. Okay. We're going to be scheduling, like I said, we're going to do probably this Friday. I'm about to make a post about it. All right, but this Friday coming and this Saturday coming. So Friday is going to be Friday the 18th and Saturday the 19th. I'll post a video in a few minutes with the times, the dates and the times and the materials that you can have. All right, and I will show you how to take these talking monkeys to war. I'm the Ahmed Osiris, folks. All right, check this out. Either you're going to terminate or you're going to stay there, bitch. Pick one. Hotep.